Hello, you just reached MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. We're currently tying up phone lines and burning through cell minutes to get you closer to the guys on top of the boxes and over the wall down on pit road. Thank you for holding. You are now being connected to your hosts, Sammi Joe Francis and Rocko Williams.
My back is still hurting.
Is it? Yeah, you know, the outtakes, my rib is still broken from her hitting us with that aggressive.
That's Susie Q.
She's crazy. Welcome to another edition of MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. And we've got Coke all over the desk, Coca-Cola.
Why do we have Coca-Cola all over the desk this
Well, because we're back at home again this week for NASCAR. It is at Charlotte Motor Speedway again. Man, it was a fun week. I was actually out at the track.
Yes,
you get
you
to do this every weekend, you know, so it's a treat when I get to be out there. But it was a good time, and I think we have some exciting news about halfway through the show that we will unveil.
Yes, we do. Can I say it?
No.
Oh, okay. I will.
No, you have to keep it under wraps. It's a secret. But thanks for showing me the pits and where to hang out. And
we had an awesome time at
when
AllStar.
I'm not reporting. You know, when I was reporting, it's not as fun.
Well, we were still reporting in our own little way. But,
right.
You know, it's always a great event at AllStar Race, and I get so excited about the weekend, and we had so much fun. You know, I was so glad you got to see that, and it was great catching up with all of our guests, our former guests on the show.
That was the best. So we got a chance to hunt down all of the people who have been on the show, who sometimes we don't meet them in person. Well, Rocko knows them, but I haven't met them in person, so that was fun. But we were out there on pit road, and if we can show you all the greatness from our perspective.
Yes, we were. Hey, I know you. Are you an AllStar?
I'm an AllStar. You an AllStar?
Yes.
I agree with that. Hey, Richie, let me ask you a question. Let me ask Richie Williams. Are you an AllStar?
I guess.
Ooh, not very confident,
Not
right?
very confident.
We like the confident ones.
Hey, I don't know the technical.
Take notes. Take notes, young.
All right, let's go.
Watch it. Are you an AllStar?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey guys, excuse me. Real quick. Hey, real quick. Hey, real quick. Are you an AllStar?
AllStar, baby.
Hey, are you an AllStar?
And a gas man.
Okay, so why is he carrying that bag?
Well, rain is on the way. That's what it looks like.
MRN Crew Call. Y'all haven't heard of it yet, but you will.
MRN Crew Call. Is that what you said?
I love it.
Greatness.
That was all weekend.
It
AllStar.
was. It just looked like we took a bunch of pictures of people like we were fans, but we did have a purpose.
Fans. Well, I know I was a fan.
Totally.
It was awesome, and it's so important.
The AllStar race itself was phenomenal. I thought it was great racing. But coming up, we're going to show you the calm before the storm, or not so calm before the storm. There were some not so pretty pit stops. But guess what it is?
What is it?
It's the last week for you to buy your tickets to the Country 500.
That's right.
Of course, it's this weekend, featuring Toby, Keith, Chris Stapleton, Dirks Bentley, so many other artists. You can still get your tickets at country500.com. They are going to be cheaper if you buy them now versus the day of, and there are still tickets available. That is at Daytona. But when we get back, we have so much more of MRN Crew Call right after this.
Grunt Style. The American fighting spirit is in everything we make. We are 500 patriots and veterans strong, bringing clothing manufacturing back to the United States of America. always moving forward, never retreating, never giving up. We are Grunt Style, and this we'll defend. Get yours at gruntstyle.com.
Kyle Petty here. My friends at Click & Close, the official mortgage provider of NASCAR, have stepped up this year to support Victory Junction through the fastest lap of the race program on NASCAR radio. So join our team. Go to clickandclose.com/NASCAR today to donate $43 or more and help us give the gift of camp to children with serious medical conditions. That's clickandclose.com/NASCAR, and just look for the Victory Junction logo. Thanks to Click & Close and NASCAR Radio for their support this season.
The race weekend doesn't have to end with the checkered flag. Carry the action over into Monday with MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Log on to MRN.com and join veteran broadcaster Woody Kane and NASCAR spotter Joey Meyer as they review the race weekend and debate the biggest stories of the week ahead. Plus, some of the biggest names in the sport stop by to talk the latest topics. Make Monday your new favorite weekday with MRN Motorsports Monday at noon Eastern or anytime on demand at MRN.com.
I know, girl, I know. So right before I transferred the call, I heard Brad Kozlowski say that next week he's planning to announce that... hello? Excuse me? Is someone else on this line? Yes, I'll transfer you immediately to Sammi, Joe, and Rocko.
Welcome back to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. I'm Sammi Jo Francis.
And I'm Rocko Williams.
Man, we have so much content for this little piece of magic that's about to happen.
It's All-Star Week.
You know, there was a lot of ugly on pit road for qualifying.
Well, you'll have that in a pit crew competition, and that's what I view this as. You know, it's an unofficial pit crew competition, being that there isn't an official one. But you know, when you're alone on the island, as I like to say, this is the time for the pit crews to shine. But it's not always in their hands. There are certain situations that they cannot control.
One of the biggest things was
their drivers and how they came on pit road. Normally you have a speed limit when you come on pit road.
Right.
No speed limit. They come in wide open, and certain drivers are better than others that coming down pit road. It's an art form. It's a skill set.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like I need to see it.
You got to see what I'm talking about here.
Let's see this. Well, you can see how form. I'm saying. Well, here's the thing. I didn't expect that to happen from Casey Kane or Denny Hamlin. Kyle Larson, I guess I could, because he's not as experienced.
As many speeding penalties that Denny Hamlin has, you don't expect that?
Listen, there's no speed limit. You're not going to get a speed penalty, but you got to stop.
You got to know how to stop.
We were talking to somebody afterwards, and they said, yeah, he braked at his, actually we were talking to the Roush team, the number 6 team, and they said, yeah, he braked like he was braking normally coming to the pits, not going 100 miles per hour. But okay, so it wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't.
There was some skill to it. Like you said, it's an acquired skill set.
Yes, it is. And you have to understand, too, the crews are not jumping off the wall prior to the cars getting there.
That was another thing.
That's another thing. You can't jump off the wall for safety reasons until the car comes to a
they're
complete
wide open.
stop. And there was 2 teams in particular that really did well. The Roush Fenway group.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 6, I would say they won the competition. Like
and
I
who
said,
was the other team that did well?
The number 17, Ricky Stenhouse.
Number 6 and 7. Let's see firsthand
out of that Roush Fenway camp,
how they did.
These 2 did it.
With left first. Very good stop. Probably the best pit stop there. We'll see how the lap is. Left side first for the 17 car. Best getting in and out. Left side first. Young boys, first time. First All-Star race, and they're on the pole as of now. Not a lot of experience on that crew, so I'm really happy for them.
That was great.
Yes,
One, great slaw phone footage.
Oh, yeah. Straight from the slaw phone, straight out of my pocket.
But we actually went there yesterday.
Absolutely.
We were with the number 6 team, and we were talking to them because talking to them, 3 out of the 5 have never done an all-star race.
No.
So for them to see that complete perfect stop, I mean, that was...
This is a big deal for them.
That was nice.
They won the pit crew competition. This is your pit crew competition winners. You know, they got it done. Yes, they were aided with Matt Kenseth and his driving skills. And
right, which was another thing because he came in hot.
He did.
But he stopped.
And they also did left side first. You had teams out there with 2 different methods. They thought that the right side first was a good way, and then you had teams that thought the left side first, and it seems like the left side first triumphed. You know, they were the better ones. And you know, those guys, Michael Brown, Rafael Diaz, you got Telvin McKirkland, you have Josh Peck, and you have my boy Bitter, you know.
We have a group photo with them. I don't know if we can put it up or not, but we initially talked to all of them, and then our video didn't come back so great. So we had to scrap it. But those guys were great out there. They really gave us an insight onto why the All-Star race is not only for bragging rights, but it really is a test of the pit crew.
Sammy, did you see how excited they were?
Yes.
I mean,
they were so excited.
It
looked like they won the race.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There they are.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You know, those guys right there.
This glowing figure on the left with no tan is me.
Oh, yes. You're a bit translucent. You're a bit highlighted.
Anyways, they were great. So congrats to them on having a great qualifying session and just...
No, we're not calling that. We're calling it the pit crew competition. These guys
for winning
won.
The pit crew competition.
Yes, they did.
Because I don't believe they were on our top 10.
They were not, because they don't get the recognition that they deserve because they're not running up front. But today, these guys, they did really, really well.
All the recognition.
Super excited about these guys, and you know, doing what they did was just awesome.
Yeah. Okay, well, coming up, we have Jeff Kerr on the line, so he's holding on.
Yes.
Excited to talk to him. That's your
yes.
buddy. And then we have our big news to unveil. So we'll be back with more MRN Crew Call right after this.
AllStar Race, and he's the 2004 winner, Matt Kenseth.
Music Festival is back at Daytona International Speedway with Toby Keith, Chris Stapleton, Dirks Bentley, Sugarland, Billy Currington, and so much more. Country 500 Memorial Day weekend, May 25th, 26th, and 27th. For tickets and information, visit country500.com. Sponsored in part by Budweiser.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at NASCAR and other Premier Series events. And the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. NASCAR fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
MRN's Throwback Thursday, the greatest races in NASCAR history.
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is sliding. Pearson is still running. As they come to the stripe, the winner is car number 21.
They spin. They go into the outside wall. Earnhardt hits the wall. Grunt hits the wall. And scooting through is Jeff Bodine, and he is going to win the Holly Farms 400 here this afternoon.
Thursdays at 1 on MRN.com, on demand on iTunes and Google Play. Throwback Thursday on MRN.com.
Thank you for listening to our program. If you like what you hear, tell your friends. If you don't, tell them we're Wings Nation. You're being transferred back to Sammi Joe and Rocko.
Welcome back to MRN Crew Call. So before we get Jeff Kerr on the line, I want to tell you about the exciting show next week, because we are going to come to you from the, let me make sure I get this right, the Developmental Pit Crew Combine. Rocko, what is that? It
is a combine, just like any other sport, you know, the NFL, NBA. It's a combine where we take athletes and we evaluate them to see if they have any potential in a career as a pit crew member. And if they do, we bring them on board, we train them up, we get them hired, get them contracted out, hopefully to a long, illustrious career. Like
so this leads to our guest, and let me tell you why. Because he's one of the trailblazers as far as getting these college athlete recruits.
Yeah, he was one of the first, you know.
And turning him into a NASCAR pit crew guy.
Man that wears many hats within the NASCAR ranks is pit crew developmental. Jeff Kerr, you there with us?
Jeff Kerr.
I'm here. What's up, guys?
All the applause. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Rocko says you've got quite an illustrious career. So tell me who you've worked for, how long you've been in the sport, because right now you freelance, correct?
Yeah, well, right now I'm a financial planner and working in the financial business, but I came out of retirement last weekend and did my first pit stop of this new stop, and I'll be honest, it's quite the challenge.
It is quite the challenge. He said he came out of retirement. He's doing some races now, and you know, when Jeff was pitting cars, he was doing the 6-man stop, so watching him.
Oh, the adjustment to 5.
Yes, to the 5-man. But you know, like I say, it's like riding a bicycle, and the athlete that he is, you know, describe that process, Jeff, as far as adapting to the 5-man, coming from the 6-man, coming from retirement to jump into that. What was that like?
I don't think that's jumping into. I think that's being shoved into. So how is that adjustment, Jeff?
Yeah, it's kind of like jumping in the deep end without knowing how to swim, but it wasn't too bad. We kind of adapted pretty quick because we'd done this stop a few times back in the day before it was what it is now. We used to call it an out-of-fuel stop. And I always enjoyed doing it because it was something different. You weren't doing the same thing all the time, but it's definitely a challenge, especially when you've got to do adjustments on the left side. You've got to carry a tire, you got to jack a race car, and then you got to avoid other cars and things that are coming at you. So
how does that?
For sure.
how did that vary from the 6-man crew? Like, how did that change your role specifically?
Well, you just compounded the variables that go into it because you can't really, I mean, it's hard enough to control what you can control on a regular 6-man crew and try to get it right every time. But now you've got a lot of variables that are going into it as far as if the car comes in, nosed in, and you got a guy behind the wall that's got to roll a tire to you and you're further away from the wall.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, apparently you were a good prototype for NASCAR because after you, they just continued to pull college athletes and make them into pit crew members. What was that like going from, you played football for ECU, I believe.
Yeah, I did, and it was tough because in the beginning, football is more of an emotional sport, and racing is emotional, but if you put too much emotions into it, then it really backfires on you, so you got to be careful. But I enjoyed it. It was definitely a fun career, and had a lot of fun, and really enjoyed it, made good money, and definitely transpired with a lot of friendships and relationships, so it was a good career.
What are the different teams that you've worked for?
I've been with Dell Earnhardt Incorporated, Ganassi, Stewart Haas Racing. I've also been with Hendrick and JTG Racing.
And that's where we met at Hendrick Motorsports. As a Jackman, Jeff came on, but he also came on as a developmental coach as far as he was training the athletes. And Jeff will come up with the most unique ways to train and create different ways of working out. You want to elaborate on that a little bit, Jeff? Because
yes, please.
I loved watching that, but I rarely participated. But
yeah, we to me, with as long a season we've got a longer season than any other sport, so it's hard to keep everybody mentally engaged. And in order to do that, I think you got to think outside the box a little bit and get people on another playing field and just keep people interested. And in order to do that, I try to come up with different strategies. And we went down and worked with the Special Forces down in Fort Bragg and talked to them about a few things that they were doing that was helpful for the mental side of training. So we took a few things away from them, took a few things away from some friends of mine that I have with the Navy SEALs, and just kind of tried to engage more the mental side than the physical side.
Where do you
physical side is not as tough.
Where do you even come up with that idea? I mean, most people, when they go into any sport or any training, they just follow what's already there. This, because you said it is outside of the box. How do you even come up with the idea to go to a Navy SEAL and go, hey, can you help me train some NASCAR guys? Well,
for me, in any sport, you try to find the best of the best, and then you try to take a few things from them that can model your own career. As a Jackman, I always tried to go to whoever were the fastest on pit road at the time, and I took whatever was best in their portfolio and then took it back over to myself and tried to make it to where it would work. If I tried and it worked out, then I'd add it to my repertoire, and if not, then we'd do away with it. But the same principles apply in coaching. You just go to whoever's the best of the best, find out why and how they're the best, and then you kind of engage the specifics of how you can really make that specific to your sport, and that's what we did.
Jeff, we were talking AllStar Racing earlier, and we were just super excited about the number 6 team and how they were able to take the pole. And when they incorporate the pit stop within qualifying, it turns into a makeshift pit crew competition. Wouldn't you agree? How many of those have you been a part of, and what did that AllStar race and that pit crew competition mean to you? As well as, you know, a lot of people don't know about the first pit crew competition. You were a part of that as well. I mean, but
well, let's start on the first pit crew competition because I want to hear about that, and then we'll fast forward to nowadays. But what was the first pit crew competition like? What did that consist of?
It was epic.
Yeah, it was epic. I think they learned real quick they needed to find a better floor because it was a slick floor that they used in the Charlotte Coliseum, and it was nothing but slick.
We would do a
concrete,
pit
so
stop, run to a car, and push it.
Yeah,
yes.
so you had to do this. Well, you had to do your individual part of it, which was mine was being a Jackman, and you had to try to do it the fastest, and then you had to hit a stop-start mark, and then be able to sprint to the car, and then you were basically a pushing machine at that point. You tried to push your car across the finish line in the fastest time possible, but that was great. I mean, I had a great time with it. I loved it.
Not to mention a $100,000 payday and then a $40,000 payday individual. So, yeah.
Just a little chunk of change.
Oh yeah, we're gonna work.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring it back.
Worked out great. I was I was able to do quite a bit with that money, so that was nice.
Yes, because he won it.
Oh, because he won. Yeah, way to leave out that huge detail. All right, so fast forward to, because they've gotten rid of the pit crew competition, the other one. And now we're calling it a pit crew competition because...
Yes, I mean, it's the only competition that we have, displayed where the focus is on a pit crew and you can make or break the situation besides an actual race. But wouldn't you agree? How many of the AllStar races have you been a part of, the qualifying races, and how did you prepare for that mentally?
When they've added that in, I was only a part of, I think, 3 of them. And we tried to do to throw the jack over the top of the car. And our driver came in a little too hot and drove through the pits. We still did the pit stop.
He's a creative
Nobody
thinker.
really realized what we did. But
outside the box.
Thinker. It was fun. We had a great time doing it. And we did the left side pit stop at Watkins Glen one time as well, where you would start with right sides first. And that was pretty cool as well. But it's along the same lines. It's tough because you got to throw a lot of different variables into something that you're used to doing the same way over and over and over for an entire season. And then you got to change all that at one time because now you got to wait and stop and go off the wall when the car comes in. So that's tough in itself because most people are used to doing something one way and it's hard to get people to change. But you got to be open, you've got to be adaptable, and you've got to be a person that can do things very well on the fly. And you can't really think your way through a pit stop. You got to react your way through a pit stop, but you got to be ahead of the moment.
So let me just ask you this, because outside of the box is not generally throwing a jack over a car. What if someone missed that jack? Did you actually do that?
Yeah, I'll send Rocko a picture there on the email, so have him show you that sometime. But yeah, we threw it over top of the car, so we did right sides first, and then we had a Jackman and a Gasman. Well, our other Gasman at the time was Wes Evans, and he was able to be a Jackman in this particular pit stop as well. So I was a former Jackman, and I was Gasman at the time, and he was our Gasman or Jackman.
It wouldn't have worked quite as well with 5 guys, I would say.
The throwing of the jack? What would that be, a loose jack penalty?
Yeah, uncontrolled jack.
Yeah.
There it is. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that picture.
What?
We're showing the picture now of you throwing the jack being thrown across the car.
I don't know if you are on the left side or the right side, but whoever's catching the jack or maybe throwing it is mid-air.
But this is how teams do. This is how they take a situation, take a set of rules, and they will push the limits. They will try different scenarios, and if it catches on, everybody's going to be doing it that way. So you guys were the first to really try that. I don't think it worked. I wouldn't have done it. If I was on their team, I'd be like, I'm not doing that. But, you're the type of guy who likes to train with Navy SEALs.
You would have caught a jack to the face.
Yeah. He trains with Navy SEALs. I'm sure he's capable of doing that.
Right. He's a beast.
You see this face?
Oh, my gosh.
Jack
the
to my
money
face.
maker over here. All right. Well, Jeff Kerr, thank you so much for joining us.
Jeff is the man, the
Really
best
appreciate
ever.
it.
The
What
best
a
to ever
story.
do it.
Yeah.
The best
Yeah,
Jackman,
Rocko,
gas man ever.
And he's out of
You led the
retirement.
way, Rocko.
Working for the financial, managing that money, all that money you've made. Now he's a financial advisor. Well, who are you working for now?
It's called Thrive It Financial. It's a Christian-based financial organization.
Very cool. And where are you based at? Like, are you in Charlotte?
I am based out of Troutman, North Carolina, but we
Troutman.
pretty much travel wherever we need to
Troutman.
go. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you again, Jeff Kerr, for joining us on Crew Call.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we'll see you out at the track this weekend, maybe?
Yeah, great. Love to.
Perfect. That'll be one of our pictures that we
Yes,
get.
it will.
All right. Well, we've got one more segment full of great things coming up right after this.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection. There's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hey, I'm Steve Poster. The Wing Nation Roadshow is coming to the Speed Palace.
I'm Ashley Stremme. Steve and I are headed to my hometown for the Weichert Livestock Wing Nation at Port Royal Speedway.
We'll be live at Port Royal Speedway on May 26th and 27th.
We'll talk with legends of Pennsylvania sprint car racing and all the hottest drivers in the Keystone State.
Weichert Livestock's Wing Nation from Port Royal Speedway, May 26th and 27th.
Be there live or check us out online on Speedshift TV's Facebook Live or MRN.com.
The Motor Racing Network is drawing lines every week on MRN.com. Choose the fastest line on Thursdays with the Straight Line, a nitro-fueled half-hour showcasing the biggest names on the NHRA circuit. On Fridays, take the shortest line with the Inside Line, your source for NASCAR fantasy racing insight from experts in and around the garage. Don't miss the Straight Line and the Inside Line, Thursdays and Fridays at noon Eastern, only on MRN.com.
You've reached MRN Crew Call. Please deposit 25 cents to be upgraded to more quality programming. Otherwise, hold for Sammi, Joe, and Rocko.
Welcome back to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. I'm Sammi Jo Francis.
And I'm your boy, Slaw Dog.
Oh my God. Can we just change his title to Slaw Dog? Something like that. Okay, so this week, a lot going on. You've got the Coca-Cola 600.
Yes, we do.
We'll be out there.
Yes, we will.
Maybe a little more play, less work.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, we haven't decided, but I'm just glad you're going 2 weeks in a row to the track, Sammi.
It's easier.
I really like where how you have matured and how you have come along your racing. You're just all in. I'm loving it. I love this transition.
Next week we're gonna have a new co-host. It's gonna be great. But also this week on Friday, Trent Cherry has a charity golf tournament.
Yes.
This is
everybody who's everybody in the pit crew world, NASCAR world, they're going to be there.
We'll be there, and I don't know what course that's at.
I forget the name of the course, but it's going to be an awesome event. It's a charity. It's in Salisbury. It's in Salisbury, and it's going to be an awesome event.
And he talked about it when he was on the show.
Yes, he did. Go back and check our episode with Trent Cherry.
Yes, check all of them while you're at it. Anyways, but also this Friday is the Developmental Pit Crew Combine. Now, tell us more about that.
So excited. What is it? So excited about it. I love combines for the simple fact that you get these young guys straight out of college. They're really indecisive on, some are from college, some are from pro sports, but they're indecisive on what they want to do, if they want to remain in stick and ball, if they want to try other options. I was one of those guys.
So you did this?
I didn't do this combine, but I was a part of combines within Chip Ganassi Race and Hendrick, other race teams. But when you get these guys here, you run them through the ringer, you check what they can do physically, you check them out mentally, you take them through all types of tests, and then if they do well, you bring them on, you teach them up, and then you
So it's like an audition.
It is.
Put it in terms that I understand.
It's an audition.
It's an audition. But most importantly, MRN Crew Call is shooting their entire show there.
This Friday.
So it is this Friday, but you can see it next week. Next Wednesday we'll be there. So are you going to put me to the test at all?
Hey, we're the hosts. We're going to be there. We're going to be emceeing. We're going to have fun. There's going to be 13 recruits there. We're going to be talking racing. We're going to be talking athletics. And hey, if you feel like jumping in there, that is a great idea. We might need to hold you to that, Sammi.
Let me just push that up so it looks
We might have to put you through the ringer. See how you
All right. Well,
how you do.
We can discuss that coming up. But who is that hosted by? Where is that at?
Coach Horton is at the NASCAR Diversity Research and Development Center, and we'll be there live.
Okay, well, you can see that next week on MRN Crew Call. And in the meantime, we'll see you at Charlotte Motor Speedway.